Okay, listen, we can't say too much yet, but Amanda and I have been secretly renovating the entire Brave New Teaching world behind the scenes.
We are taking our entire podcast, our shop, our workshops, combining them into one massive university. It's going to change how you plan your entire year.
It really is, but we need help testing the new platform.
So if you want a sneak peek and the lowest price that it will ever exist, get on our beta waitlist right now at bravenewteaching.com/waitlist.
Seriously, you guys, go now. bravenewteaching.com/waitlist. Let's go. Well, hello and welcome back to Brave New Teaching and welcome to another BNT team meeting. Friends, last week I talked about what I thought was the silliest things, which were just like ways to change things up in your classroom and bring a little creativity and get kids using their hands and getting them away from screens. And the reaction from you all, our listeners, has been amazing. Like, it is something that we have been absolutely craving because not just this season. I mean, there are always seasons that are harder than others, right? And depending on where you are in your career, where you are with your district, that means different things for different educators. But also just like right now, 2026, I was doom scrolling a little bit this morning. It is 5:30 in the morning on the day that I'm so sorry. I lied to you. It's 5:34 on the Monday that I'm returning from spring break. And I was doing a little bit of doom scrolling. Okay. The habits are dying hard around here, around my social media use, but I'll curb it, I promise, as I'm going back to work. And I seriously saw like 6 different videos in a row of like, everything's so heavy, whimsy because everything is so heavy, the world, it's heavy, everything. Like, we're not even talking about dumpster fires anymore because it's not funny, right? So that got me thinking about how much we really do just need to survive the rest of the school year. And our students need us to survive so that they can thrive as much as possible. And so I wanted to talk today about what my classroom plans are for the rest of the school year. And if you follow me on Instagram, I have been talking quite a bit as of late about my upcoming musical because I'm a drama teacher. I'm also an English teacher, if you are new to this podcast. So I teach 11th grade English and I teach all 4 grades in theater, both technical theater and performance during the school day. And then we run our after school productions. And Guys and Dolls is our spring musical. And we go into Tech Week this week. And then next week we have dress rehearsals and performances. So it's about to get intense. And I haven't been talking about my English classes all that much. And I think today it is time. We're going to talk about what the rest of the school year is going to look like for me in my English classroom and the mindset that I am going to put myself into. And I think that it will be helpful for all of us to get into this mindset so that we can make our way through the end of the school year with as much grace and little glimmers of joy as is humanly possible without sacrificing too much. Okay? So let's talk about it. Cue the music.
You're listening to Brave New Teaching, and we are so much more than a podcast.
We give teachers the inspiration, support, and tools to challenge the status quo.
I'm Amanda, and I'm a former English teacher from Illinois.
And I'm Marie, and I'm a high school teacher from Southern California.
Join us after the show and happy hour to extend your BNT experience with instant access to our resources, workshops, and courses.
Visit shop.bravenewteaching.com/happy hour to join us today. We're so glad you're here. Enjoy the show. I don't know if you can hear from my voice, but spring has officially totally sprung. Just kidding. That happened like months ago here in Southern California, but we've had a resurgence of pollen. So I don't know if you can hear it, but my Zyrtec is taking a minute to kick in this morning. Apologies for the weird sounds you may be getting from me and my voice quality. Really, only a musical theater teacher would be worried about their voice quality. Anyways, let's talk about the rest of the school year. So I have 8 weeks left. We have spring break just ended, and now I have that stretch of 8 weeks until the end of the school year. Some of you are like 4 and 5 weeks out from the end of the school year because you end in May. Some of you are even farther out than me, but you've got like a weird long stretch. I mean, I have Memorial Day on week 8, but like that doesn't provide a whole heck of a lot of break because we're like diving into finals and graduation and all of that stuff at that time. So like, yay, Memorial Day? Question mark. But I have 9 straight weeks of hit the ground running breakneck pace. I mean, and that's just part of being a teacher, part of being in electives, like running a program like I do. So like, I'm not begrudging it. I'm just saying like, this is the reality. So let's talk about what's going to be happening in my English classroom. My English classroom, the mindset I'm going in for this next 8 weeks is make it through. And I'm not saying make it through, like just survive and who cares what happens and like throw all rigor out the door. No. I am saying I need to make it through because no child is going to learn to their greatest capacity if their teacher, me, goes off the rails. If I am cranky and just feeling it and not providing myself breathing room and therefore not providing them breathing room and glimmers of joy, it's just not going to be the experience that anybody wants it to be. And again, I don't also mean sacrificing things doesn't mean sacrificing rigor and sacrificing learning. It also doesn't mean sacrificing my own mental health to just like push and do too many things at the end of the school year. So what I don't want to end up, I'm going to tell you what I'm trying to avoid so then I can talk about how I hope to achieve that avoidance. You know what I mean? So this week, coming back from spring break, like I said, I teach American literature, which is juniors in my district. I think in most of our districts it's juniors. And so that means that we have state testing that is happening in my classroom today, the day we return from spring break, and tomorrow. Do the kids know this? Probably not. I'm sure that they did not clock that. Is it poor timing on my part because those were the days that I chose to have it in my class? Yeah, but it is what it is. We're going to come back. We have 2 days of testing because I do the ELA part of the test in my class. And then I have 3 days where we have just returned from spring break and they've just spent 2 days testing. So basically what I'm saying is that their brains are made of oatmeal, like nothing good. One thing that I have done this term with my co-teachers, we decided that kids needed to build a little bit more of their speaking skills. We do quite a bit of like discussion and Socratic seminar and small, informal discussions in our class, but we decided that they needed to have some presentation skill building. And so we started the very beginning, like the first week of the quarter, kids had to do just like a PowerPoint party presentation, which is basically just like anything you're interested in, present on it. And then they had to do a second presentation in the quarter with like a deeper research. They had to ask a research question and like really get into something very niche about that same topic and present on it, which they did. And they went great. Now, for the second quarter, right, the last part of the course, we're infusing a third presentation, which is going to be a tutorial, some sort of how to teach us something, how not just teach us something, not information, but how to do something related somehow, however tangentially to your original topic. So that is one thing that I've got in my pocket as like on the days when I've got like stuff going on with our musical, we've got in-class previews one day. That's something that can be worked on during class. Just, when things come up and you've got like a weird dead day or like I'm dead inside and so are the children, this is something that we can work on. So I think after testing this week, we are going to start their tutorial presentation. The heavy lifting of it isn't coming up with the topic. It's going to be outlining a how-to. And so I think though that is a well-suited task to the kind of like exhaustion that their little brains are going to have by the end of this week. Then we have 3 weeks of The Great Gatsby, and I cannot wait. The first week of The Great Gatsby in my own life is going to be show week for Guys and Dolls, so that might be a little rough, but I have it so dialed in that it's going to be just fine. Again, like I said, we do a lot of conversation, a lot of discussion in our class. So I have 2 more units, basically, and then the tutorial presentations that I need to fit within the 7 weeks after this one. So I'm going to go 3 weeks with my American Dream Great Gatsby unit. That ends with an on-demand, like free response question, an FRQ writing assignment, and a Socratic seminar talking about the American Dream and like synthesizing a lot of texts and things that we've looked at. Then I think I'm going to do like a break week where we finish working on and then actually present their tutorial presentations. Like I had originally thought, oh, I'll pepper these in throughout the whole entire quarter, these presentations. And then I was like, oh, that's how we'll end. Like finals in June will be tutorial presentations. And then I thought better of it, like literally just now when I started recording, because I feel like if I keep presentations, like kind of hefty presentations until the end, that will give some of my more reluctant academic children more license to not do it, like to not show up. If I do it like week 6 and I still have 7, 8, and 9 to go, I'll have a little bit more time to get everybody to present so that everyone is as successful as possible and has the opportunity and access to being successful in this class. So Great Gatsby, and I'm going to be incorporating so much more of the Gatsby musical because I saw it on Broadway. I can't wait to tell you all about it. So make sure that you are following along on BNT Instagram and my own Instagram, Well, Hello, It's Marie, because I cannot wait. The musical theater nerd and the American lit nerd in me have crashed together to like be a conglomerate of my identity, and I cannot wait. It's so good. I digress. Tutorial presentations. I think I'm just going to spend a whole week. If you're not familiar, I have a quarter system that I teach in. So I have students for 90 minutes a day, 4 out of the 5 days a week. The 5th day is a late start for us. So I have them 70 minutes. Like I have them for a good chunk of time. We can get this done in a week. And then I have 3 weeks of the school year left, including finals. And one thing I know about teaching juniors is that by finals week, specifically with juniors, they are so burnt out that asking them to do more like product-driven academic work, it's a dance with the devil. Like it's not great for them. I'm not going to get their highest quality of work. I'm going to get a lot of AI. I'm going to get a lot of cheating. I'm going to get a lot of just no-shows and kids just crapping the bed. So where I might usually end with some sort of a writing piece, some sort of maybe even a one-pager, maybe like a project of sorts, I am completely turning that on its head. I want to end with the most mundane end of unit, like not mundane, but just like nothing crazy special for finals, because I think it will be more fruitful if it's just a rinse and repeat of the same skills that we've been doing with new information and like, with new concepts. So the last unit that I do is a look at American media through the different like decades, basically starting the 1950s forward of American television and looking at, what is my essential question? It's like, to what extent? I'll have to get it for the show notes, but it's about American media and like basically does art represent life or life represent art kind of a question. And so we watch TV shows from different eras, starting the 1950s and going each decade forward and doing a bunch of analysis and a lot of conversation. And I just want to end it with a big Socratic seminar on the last day during our final period. Our final is like 2 hours long. So I can do the full prep. Like I can ask them questions. They can do the full prep, gather all their evidence, and we can do a legitimate, lengthy Socratic seminar all in one day. So kids do not have to come to the final with anything. They can just do their chem final, their math final, their world language, like do all of that stuff and just come having been in class and just show me what you can do. That, I think, will be the best way for me, to not have so much extra grading if I'm collecting like a product for their final, but rather be able to assess their skills in the moment and like just kind of seal our little classroom community with a conversation, I think would also be a really nice touch for the end. So I'm trying to focus on less. I'm trying to say, well, what are the skills that I think that they need? The most skills that anybody needs is being able to have a conversation. Like truly, if the world is teaching us nothing other than that, we all need to be able to talk. My mindset, make it through. Who's going to learn if I go off the rails? Focus on less and try to end strong. And again, for me, that means a prepared discussion where students can come in, prepare based off of the skills that we have built, and then just talk and show me what they know. for their final. Yeah. So I hope that this helps you get yourself into I guarantee those of you who are done in like May already know what you're doing at the end of the school year. And if you don't, we have so many things for you, especially on this podcast. If you go and take a look at BNT University, where we've got things categorized, if you need like something specific, we have a lot of like genre and skill specific quote unquote courses where we've curated playlists of the podcast for these little courses in Brave New Teaching University. Take a little look. I am excited now to go back to school. I do need to get moving because I've been chatting with you all for a while and it's time to get ready before my children wake up. But yeah, I hope you're having a wonderful week at school. Let me know, what kind of questions come up. Come in, give us a little holler on Instagram because if you want to come with me through Tech Week and Dress Week and performances over the next couple of weeks, I'd love to have you. Head on over and I'll see you there. All right, everybody, have a wonderful week at school and I will see you next time.
Thanks again for listening to Brave New Teaching.
We'd love to keep the conversation going over on Instagram.
And while you're there, check out the links in our bio for the most up-to-date events going on in Happy Hour and the Brave New Teaching community.
Thanks for being here and have a great week at school.